Welcome to EmployeeConnect. In this video, you'll learn how to use the publishing section of the communication module, which will allow you to publish company documents in EmployeeConnect. So first of all, you'll need to make sure that you've logged in with admin privileges, and then you'll need to navigate to Advanced in the top menu, and then to Communication. The default splash screen for the communication module is Document Admin, but if you want to find this through the menu, just navigate to Publishing in the side menu, and then you'll see everything that you need for publishing. First of all, you'll probably want to start by adding all of your documents, which you can then place into folders. To do so, all you'll need to do is click on New Document. From here, you can choose whether you're creating a new file, or uploading one, or adding a folder. So all you'll need to do is make your appropriate selection. Let's start with adding a folder. So we'll choose folder. In that instance, we don't need to bother choosing a file because we're creating a folder. And even though it says document name here, this is going to be the name of the folder that we want. So let's start off by maybe creating a folder where we want to put all of our company policies. Normally, if you were adding in a file, you could also choose the folder that you want to put this file into. But because we're creating a folder, there's no need for us to select the folder that we want to put it into, especially because we don't have any folders defined at the moment. Though do note, of course, you can put folders within folders, just like you could on your computer. You can add in a description if you'd like, but we're going to not worry about that for now. And down the bottom is really handy is the publishing detail. So you can choose an owner on the file or folder. And what that will mean is that only that person can make changes. It's really handy to prevent unsolicited changes from happening for your publishing. If you don't want that to be the case and you're happy for any administrator to make changes, on the owner section, just click on the blue box and clear it out. You can also have a submit date and an end date on publishing, and this allows you to ensure that certain documents drop offline and disappear from employees in EmployeeConnect, rather than having to manually go in and remember to do so. This is handy for things like policies or procedures that you know expire after a certain period. Again, if you don't want to do this, just remove the end date and make sure that the submit date is at least today's date or earlier. We also support version numbering in EmployeeConnect as well. So rather than having to name the file that, you can make the file name really simple and more readable, but you can keep track of the version number by inputting it here. So we're going to put in 1.0. Once you're done with that, you'll need to navigate to the Access Security tab, and this allows you to choose who can access the file or folder. In this instance, we want to make sure that the published option is ticked, but if you ever do need to bring down a document or a file for any reason really quickly, just come back into this screen and you can just untick Published, and that will take the file or folder straight down from EmployeeConnect, from employees being able to view it. But of course, it'll keep it in here for your records as an admin. Under the Scope section, just make sure that if you want a file or folder to be applicable during the onboarding module, so when new employees are coming on board, that you select onboarding. But we want to create a folder that's accessible in general for normal employees, so we're going to select the publishing folder option. Under the Allow and Deny Access options, it's quite straightforward. You'll just need to select who you want from a security level type to be able to view or deny to a folder or file. So in this instance, under the Profile section, we're going to select Employee. And what this means is that anyone with a security group of employee or higher, and because employee is the lowest level of security, this means everyone in my system for EmployeeConnect will be able to view this folder. Now I can also make that more specific by using the Deny option. So I might say that I actually want to deny this to managers. And by doing so, that means that employees will be able to view this, as well as admins and system admins. Again, the combination is completely up to you, but most clients we find use either just allow access to employees, managers, or admins. And that way, you can have certain documents or folders that are only applicable for those security levels. So I'm going to remove the deny access for now. And then when you're done, you just got to click the Save button. You should see that your changes have been saved in green, and that means that you've done everything successfully. If you use the breadcrumbs at the top to go back to communication, you should now see that under Document Admin, we've got the new folder that we've created. Well done, we're on our first way there. From here, we can now probably add in some files to put inside that folder. So we'll just navigate back to Publishing, and we'll click on New Document again. From here, this time we're going to select File, but we're actually going to choose the file from our computer. You'll then need to name the document. And then of course you'll need to choose the folder that file goes in. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. It just means that this folder won't be inside a folder. But we're going to select the company policies folder, which now appears because we've created it. Again, we're not going to worry about a description for now. And we're fine for there to be no document owner, allowing all admins to access this and edit it. And we're also going to remove the end date because we don't want this file to drop offline automatically. Under the Access Security tab, for the scope, we're just going to select Publishing because we don't want this to be available in onboarding. We want it for normal employees. And under Allow Access, we're going to make it match the folder and just say that employees can view this. And we're going to click Save. Again, we've got the green confirmation message. If we go back to the breadcrumbs and select Communication, you'll now see that there's a plus icon and it expands that file under the folder. If you were to navigate to the Home menu now, because the Home menu is accessible to all employees, this is a really good test, is that if you now navigate to Company in the side menu and go to Documents, you'll now see that you can see the Company Policies folder and that file that we just added. Do note that EmployeeConnect supports a lot of file types. For example, common image file types like JPEGs and PNGs. We support PDFs, Word documents, Excel, and PowerPoint as well. Do make sure though that if you're uploading files to the onboarding module rather than the standard EmployeeConnect portal for employees, that you upload all of your files in PDF format, because the onboarding module is designed to only facilitate documents for policy purposes. And unless they're in PDF format, you won't be able to view them inline. You also probably don't want to upload policies in a format that is editable, like a Word document. So if we navigate back to Advanced Communication, again, to upload another file, it's really easy. Again, just repeat the steps. Go to Publishing, New Document, select the file, you'll then need to name your document and choose the folder. And I'm going to say that we're going to put it inside the Company Policies folder as well. We don't want a document owner or an end date. We're going to put that this is version 2.0. You can also add in keywords, by the way, and that will allow you to search for files and folders really easily. But under Access Security type, this time we're going to put the scope is still going to be Publishing, but we're going to say that Allow Access is for managers. And this means that now when I save this, unless I have a security group of manager or higher, I will not be able to see this file. Another thing that's handy to note is that when you go to the Communication module by default, as you get more and more files and folders, do note that you can actually just use the search function up the top in the bar. So if you were, for example, to type in mobile, you'll see that straight away it'll show you that file. So that's really, really handy as well. So last but not least, let's create another folder this time for onboarding purposes and add some files in there. So again, we go to Publishing, go to New Document, select a folder, name the folder. I'm probably just going to call it Onboarding Files or Onboarding Policies. So there's no need for me to put it inside the folder because I want that to be at the top of the directory. We don't want an owner. Again, you're more than welcome to do that if you'd like. And we don't want an end date. Under access security, we're going to make sure that we tick published or it won't be accessible. But this time under the scope, we're going to select onboarding. And under allow access, we're going to select it to onboarding this time. That's really important. If you don't set the scope and the allow access to onboarding, your files and folders will not appear for onboarding employees. And then you click Save. And now if we go back to communication through the breadcrumbs, you'll see that I've got another folder. But if we're to go home, and then to company and documents, you'll notice that I can't see that folder because I've set it to onboarding and not publishing, and that means that I will not be able to see this as a normal employee. So that's really important to note. If you need to make a change to a file or folder that you've already uploaded in EmployeeConnect, that's really easy too. Just navigate to the communication module and then go to publishing. But rather than going to new document, this time you'll need to navigate to either folder admin or document admin. In the properties column, click on either the file or folder that you need to make changes to, and then make the changes that you need, whether you need to actually change the file itself, the name of it, or the name of the folder, of course, the folder that the file or folder is nested within, the description, keywords, the owner, the end date and start date, the versioning number, or of course, which is quite common, security. So if you need to change anything here, make your relevant changes. And then when you're done, just click Save. And that's just a brief overview of the communication module specifically for publishing purposes. It's a really, really handy module that allows you to distill your company documents all in one place and keep track of them from a versioning point and making sure that the right employees only see the right documentation through the access security option with security groups. And that's how easy it is to set all of that up in EmployeeConnect.